Kelly, just Jimbo raved about your job you did managing the game, especially coming back from that pick, and I think you had 9 straight completions. Just take us through that moment and then how you responded from it.
Yeah, it was kind of a new play that we dropped before the game, and something that was kind of game planned before, and just missed underthrown book on a wheel route. So, just kind of short-term memory, and was able to bounce back from it. And, not only me, but the receivers were able to make plays, and I was able to get in the end zone twice for him.
Your left side to Sam.
With a lot of the receivers banged up, how challenging has it been these last few weeks, but also how much growth have you seen from some of the guys who have stepped into those roles?
Yeah, with a lot of the receivers hurt, it's usually really hard, and just kind of continue to build chemistry and then kind of restarting from square one. But, I've definitely seen a lot of growth from some of the younger guys stepping up, and, you never know what could happen during the season, so they're definitely going to have to be ready.
The right side to Ben.
What have you made of Zach's spring so far, and how do you think he's looked today, and how do you think he's progressed since he's come on campus?
I thought he's done a really good job, and just obviously it's a complex playbook and something that's pretty difficult. So the way he's able to manage it and continue to learn and continue to never be satisfied, been really impressed with him.
With Alex on your left.
Hey, Kellen, when you go back and look at the spring as a whole, where do you think you've progressed the most in your game?
Pretty much, when I was kind of evaluating my season, I thought I was on my toes too much and kind of hopping around. So, kind of this whole spring, I've been kind of trying to focus on my base, just trying to get the ball out a little bit quicker and continue to be more consistent. So, just everything as a whole to be a great quarterback.
The front to Wendell.
You mentioned the complex playbook, and obviously last spring you were probably thrown into the deep end and trying to figure it out. How do you assess yourself right now after this spring compared to last year? And that, like you said, you were able to work on little things rather than maybe the big picture. Is that the biggest thing you've been able to maybe work on?
Yeah, and pretty much kind of when you critique those little things, it ends up being a big impact for something really big. So just kind of focusing on that physical-wise, and then just trying to become more a vocal leader and make sure everybody understands what type of team that we can be. Make sure everybody's mindset is in the right spot for this spring, and then go into summer and fall.
Go to Gabe over on your right.
What's been your evaluation just this whole spring of the tight ends? They combined for, I think, about 150 plus yards, 10 catches, a couple touchdowns tonight.
We lost one of a really good tight end, but we knew that somebody was going to have to step up, whether it be in Glenn Beal or Baylor Cup. But I felt like coming into the spring, both of them have done a really good job. But still a lot of work to do for them, and just like everybody else. But they're always going to work hard, and they're never going to be satisfied.
You go to Sam, Suzanne, and Wendell.
Kellen, I know last year you were in the middle of a competition trying to win a starting job. So with that not being kind of a factor, how much have you been able to kind of focus on smaller things in your game, and how is that, or has that helped you, that hasn't been part of your focus?
Yeah, I think kind of one of the biggest things I've been focusing on is just small critiques, and just trying to make that big jump from same kind of how I did freshman year to sophomore year, and just continue to grow. And it's not going to happen over time, but I got to trust the process and trust what Coach Craig, Coach Dickey, Coach Fisher is all saying, and continue to be a vocal leader and help others make a large jump and help them impact each other.
Kellen, we'll go to Suzanne on your right.
Hey, Kellen, you talked about missing Sternberger and who might step up. Can you also talk about the running backs, because your Travion was, the heart of the offense, and can you talk about some of the running backs and how they did in the spring?
Yeah, I mean, Travion was definitely a big part of our offense, rushing for 1,700 yards last year. But, Jay Sean having a whole year behind Travion, being able to learn was definitely a big thing, but with him hurt, obviously Jacob Kabodi, I felt like he stepped up really well today. Deneric Prince had a solid day, so definitely feel like we got a lot of good backs, and no matter what, we're always going to have a good running game. So I feel like they've done a really good job this spring.
Go to Wendell, and we'll finish with Brent.
Getting back to tight ends in this offense, it's obviously a really key position in a number of ways, not only blocking for the running game, but getting downfield. For you as a quarterback, what does the tight end mean to you? Is that the guy that you kind of always know, hey, if everything else is not there, that guy's probably going to, if he's in the pattern, he's probably going to have a mismatch and be open?
I just feel like in this offense, a tight end is a super key part of our progression. So usually starting off with the tight end, and I mean obviously we have so many different plays and everything changes, but with a lot of our base plays, that's kind of how it is. So just trying to get them to become more consistent and start building confidence and trust in themselves. And I look forward to them having a really good season.
Last one, Brent, in the middle.
So when Coach Fisher is standing behind you like that, and we catch a few glimpses of it over the microphone, does he ever let up at all?
I don't think so, and it's probably today was probably his light day, so honestly didn't really hear him that much. But I mean, in practice, it's definitely a totally different deal. But I mean, it's kind of how he coaches, and I kind of understand why he's had so much success with quarterbacks.
All right, we're done. Ryan?